Your vision for your life is winning state, getting drafted, and playing in the major leagues. And I'm here to tell you, that is so small compared to what you're supposed to do in your life. That is so minute compared to your potential. All of those things, you can go to the major leagues, you can win a state championship, you can win a national championship, you can get recruited to play Division I. I promise you, you can do all of those things. But you are limiting yourself if you think that's the end-all be-all. And nobody's gonna tell you that. That is such a small vision for your life. Some of you gotta rip your mind off right now. Put your hands up by your head. I want you to take your mind and lift it up. And I want you to throw it in the garbage for me. Every bad thought that you've had about yourself, you got to throw that in the trash. The only limit to you is you. My guys, the only limit that you're going to place on your life is you. You are the only one who's going to limit you. The major leagues is something you should strive for. Getting recruited is something you should strive for to do, not to fill your own ego, but how many people can you impact along the way when you operate in excellence? How many lives can you change if you be the very best version of yourself? What you want in life, it's a platform to impact. It's not something that you do to fill your ego. And that's why we got to throw our mind away. Because we get on social media and we see all these people doing these things. They make money. They have the cars. They got the offer. They're wearing the Jordans at North Carolina, right? The perfect game score. And we start to think, man, wouldn't it be cool if I did that? Absolutely, it'd be cool. But wouldn't it be cool if you use that platform to impact somebody's life along the way? So when I say commit to the seed, you got to commit to yourself and your own belief and your own identity. That's the best thing that you could do for yourself. That's the best thing you can do for yourself is commit to yourself. Some of you don't understand the value of your seed. Some of you don't understand the value of the greatness that's inside of you. Who's heard that saying, you reap what you sow? You reap what you sow. So in life and in farming and in planting, when you plant a pumpkin seed, it grows and becomes a pumpkin seed. You don't plant a pumpkin seed and it becomes a sunflower. So you got to focus on what you're consistently planting. What is it that you're consistently putting out into the world? What is it that you consistently believe about yourself? Because if you plant ego and you plant being a bad teammate, when the pressure comes, what you've been planting gets exasperated. So what you plant, when it starts to grow and you start to see a harvest, when the pressure comes and you start to lose games, or coach gets in your face, who you really are is gonna appear. So you gotta decide, who am I gonna be when the pressure comes? When that pressure cooker bursts, who am I? Who am I at the core? Because here's what I know. You guys, the fact that you're even sitting in your chair right now, the fact that you're even here right now is 4 billion to 1. 4 billion to 1. That's the odds that you make it to Earth. If I were to stack a $1 bill from here all the way through the sky, that would be 120,000 World Trade Centers high. 4 billion $1 bills. What's your name, brother? Ben? If I wrote Ben on one of those dollar bills, what's your name? Christopher. If I wrote Christopher on one of those $1 bills, what's your name? If I wrote Connor on one of those $1 bills, and I would put it in the stack of this 120,000 World Trade Centers high stacked on top of each other, and I went to grab one of those $1 bills, and it said your name, it said Ben's name. The odds that I grabbed his are 4 billion to 1. That's the odds that you're even here right now. That has nothing to do with your statistics. If there's one statistic you need to look at this season and for the rest of your life, it's I'm a life-breathing miracle. I am born and created to do something special. And the only limit I'm gonna have on my life is my own. I'm sick of people telling you where you can go. You can do so much things with this team. You guys have been cultivating some great soil here at Skyline. 2 to 3 years ago when Brian took over the program, there was 25 baseballs. You didn't have the batting cage. This ground was desolate. This ground was desperate for some water. This ground was desperate for some players like you. And some of you guys have been hanging tough. You've been hanging tough waiting for your harvest. And I promise you it's coming. But you gotta get so committed to yourself and your worth. And here's the biggest thing that I see, no matter what level this is. I was just at a Division II football program in New Hampshire. I must have got 18 direct messages after my message for them. Man, I needed to hear that I've been struggling with my worth. Man, nobody ever sees me beyond the game. We're talking about Division II football players, man. Big guys. Lance, I've never asked myself who I am beyond my jersey. You got to start to realize that this jersey is an opportunity to change somebody else's life with you wearing it. But it does not determine how much of a miracle that you are. You've been created in the image of excellence. You are excellent, whether you're excellent on the field or not. Somebody say excellence. Somebody say excellence. Y'all with me? Y'all with me, all right. You are excellent, whether you're excellent on the field or not. When you mess up, which you're gonna mess up, you're still excellent. You are still worthy. And here's what happens. We start to believe lies about ourselves. So in order to commit to your seed, in order to commit to your value, in order to start planting and sowing great things in your life, you gotta throw away some things that you've been saying to yourself. And you gotta throw away some things that have been said to you. Think about that. Think about something that's hurt you or that you still carry with you that somebody has said to you. You're not good enough. Nobody likes you. You're not worthy. You'll never be. Think about those things. Or my favorite is where people that were even close to me, people that I was homies with, boys with, whenever I started working really hard, why you working so hard, man? Yeah. Why you working so hard, bro? Don't ever say that again. Don't ever ask somebody to slow down. Ever. They're operating from their worth and their value. If you knew how valuable you were, you wouldn't freaking stop. Your hands would be freaking bleeding if you knew how much you were worth it. But you got to put your mind that's been telling you and comparing yourself. I don't look like this person who's got the scholarship. I'm not as tall as this person. I don't have a girlfriend like them. I'm not watching this. I'm not sleeping with her. Bro, there's things that we try to fill this heart with that are just vices. Dude, if you knew how valuable you were, you wouldn't even want to go drink. If you knew how valuable you were, you wouldn't even want to go smoke pot. If you knew how valuable you were, you wouldn't want to fill in the blank. But we get these things in our life, we think that I'm gonna feel better when I do this. Bro, you're gonna feel better when you operate in your gifting. When you operate in this level of belief that says, I don't care what's going on in my external environment. I don't care what other people are saying to me because I know that I'm 4 billion to 1. I know that I'm freaking worth it. I know that my identity is not in my stat sheet, it's in my soul. It comes from here. That's how valuable that you are. I don't want you to question that anymore. So we gotta reconcile with some past lies. I want you to write them down when you get home. I want you just to think about some things that your auntie, your uncle, maybe your brother who's jealous of you, your sister who's jealous of you, because you're striving for excellence, because you have good grades, you work hard. People have told you stupid things. You need to throw those away. And number two, you gotta throw away the things that you've been saying to yourself. When you can start to take your mind captive, you will change your life. I will be a New York Times bestseller. I will be the #1 motivational speaker in the world. It may not be until 2031, but I promise you it's gonna happen. I believe it. Why can't it be me? Why can't it be me? And even if it never happens in the physical world, even if the world never conforms it and confirms it, at least I went for it and I tried. And I didn't hold myself back. There's some crazy dreams that you guys have inside of your heart that you're afraid to tell other people because you're afraid to be judged, am I right? There's some things that you won't tell anybody because you're afraid of judgment, because there are so many people that have settled for average. There are so many people that have settled, and you're afraid to tell somebody your big dream because they've settled their whole life. Zig Ziglar says this, at 25, most people, they give up on their dreams at 25 years old. Y'all are 14, 15, 18 years old right now. Don't give up on it. You gotta change your mind. You gotta take your thoughts captive. Every time a bad thought comes in your head, you gotta blanket that sucker with truth. I'm never gonna make it. No. That is not coming from a good place. You gotta blanket that thought with truth. No. I am worth it. I am 4 billion to 1. Why can't it be me? Why can't it be me? You gotta write down some of those thoughts that you've been saying to yourself over and over and over again. Because when crap hits the fan on the field, when crap hits the fan in the bottom of the 7th, when crap hits the fan, you go to your level of belief. Everybody can pitch well at the club showcase. Everybody can pitch well when you're up 9-0. Everybody can hit a tank in a scrimmage. But when the pressure is on, you're gonna fall to your level of belief. So you gotta build that skill. You gotta build that habit when the pressure comes, you're not gonna burst. When the pressure comes, you're not gonna burst and implode. And that goes for your teammates too. That goes for little quarrels. That goes for your marriage down the road. 10, 12 years from now, 13 years from now, I just turned 30, you guys are gonna be in a relationship, you're gonna be married, you're gonna have kids, your wife's gonna be tired, she's gonna blow up on you, you're gonna fall to the worst version of you. Always be elevating your level of belief, always be elevating your thoughts, always be elevating your mind. No. That thought doesn't exist in my world anymore. Take it captive. Take it captive. You gotta commit to that portion of your life. Because when you reconcile with lies, when you stop the bad nonsense that you're telling yourself, now you can just live, you can breathe, you can operate in freedom like you've never seen before. How many of you guys want to operate in freedom? How many of you guys want to operate with a clear head and a clear mind? It's going to take work. Are you guys committed to doing the work? You guys know what you have to do? Okay, so we got to throw away the old, now we got to put in the new. So every single morning, I get up at 4:30 in the morning. There's a few things that I do every day to do exactly what I'm telling you to do. This isn't theory, this is my life. I get up, make my coffee, and I go straight into my notebook. And I start writing life-breathing words about myself. I'm a miracle. I'm a child of God, if that's your thing. I'm worthy, I'm accepted, I'm loved, I'm enough. And then I write some things that I want to be. I am a leader. I'm an intentional listener for my wife. I spend quality time with my wife. I am kind and gentle to my kids. I am leading my kids to know their worth and their value. I'm the #1 motivational speaker in the world. I'm a New York Times bestseller. Start writing and start putting in good things. And then I go straight into the good book, and then I go straight into working out. I do that 6 to 7 days a week. And over time, it's not easy. It's not easy to commit to yourself like that because nobody does it. Most people roll out of bed and you get what you get that day. How many of y'all, like, before you came to school some days, like you missed your alarm, you slept in late? Happens. And you showed up and you were just kind of all out of whack, right? You're all out of whack. It happens. Now I want you to think about that. If you don't have a game plan for your mind, you're gonna be out of whack the rest of your life. If you just let the day come to you, you can't let the day come to you. You gotta declare yourself to the day. You gotta declare it. I am here. I'm a world champion. I'm a state champion. I am worth it. I have value. I am doing great things. And then you know what you do next? You go and take action on it. You go and live it out. You go and be the best version of yourself in the classroom because that's what's required to wear the jersey. And if you want to be great on the baseball field, you got to do some things that you don't like to do. You got to get good grades. This baseball team, do you guys wear the jersey on game day? You guys wear the hats around school most of the time? People notice you. People know who you are because of the jersey that you wear. What are they going to know you for? What are they going to know you for? When somebody leaves your presence, what do they know you for? I challenge you the rest of this year, hold the door for every girl that you see. Hold the door for them. How do people feel when they leave your presence?
What's going on, family? I got something for you, especially for you. If you want to have more freedom in your life, mentally, have that heart-mind connection, I got something for you. Tap that link. Let's go.